Hi, it's Tam Begin. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm filming the second chapter to the Psychic Intelligence book by Terry and Linda Jamison, the Psychic Twins. Sorry if everything's backwards. They're identical twins, so they look very much alike. So I am going to start reading the second chapter of this book, and I'm starting to read the second chapter of this book, and the chapter is called Psychic Intelligence 101. So if I don't look up periodically, it's because I'm really into the book, reading it to you guys. So I apologize if you want eye contact. You're not going to get very much eye contact in this video. So let's get to it. Psychic Intelligence 101. Many people these days have lost touch with their own intuitive abilities and are extremely skeptical of anyone's ability to access any higher source of knowledge. As a culture, we seem to be paranormally challenged. We have become so dependent on modern technology and scientific proof that we no longer understand or appreciate the kind of spirit wisdom that was venerated by our ancestors. We are so preoccupied with the material world that we discount as superstition or fantasy, that the divine and subtle magic phenomenon that we rich in natural parts of all ancient cultures. What we know now, referred to casually, even dismissively, as a woman's intuition, was once valued as a profound source of knowledge, but according to the sociologist and a cultural historian Rain Esler, there has been a global shift from spiritual and non-violent goddess-worshipping societies over the last 6,000 years. The ancient societies based on partnership and creativity were much more spiritually evolved than the technological societies of today. Over time, however, empathy, intuition, and connection with nature and values that were and still are associated with women were suppressed in favor of logical, linear thinking and associated with masculinity. Whereas women were initially revered as intuitive healers and beginning in the late Middle Ages. Church-educated male physicians began to take over this traditionally female role, and channelers, healers, seers, and psychics of all kinds were labeled witches because of their ability to communicate with the other realm. And under church, and millions of women were hunted down, tortured, and killed for practicing healing and intuitive arts. Our intention is not to pit women against men, but to help you understand that there are two basic ways of acquiring knowledge. One is linear and logical. The other is spiritual and intuitive. True wisdom resides in the ability to appreciate and access the power of both. The two of us are often criticized and even ridiculed for what we do and for helping others to understand that these abilities exist. Nevertheless, we have proved it, and now we are sharing our secrets with you. To us, paranormal is the new normal. Twin tuition tip: open your mind to expand your life. Objection and overruled. In the 15th century, during the Inquisition of Nostradamus, who was predicting the future through pagan oracles and feared persecution, and had to obscure his predictions by using anagrams and transposed letters, plays on words and other cryptic methods in order to avoid imprisonment or being executed as a heretic. In a letter to his son, Caesar, he wrote, I really did not want to write the documentations down concerning the future, mainly because of the insults I will earn. The present form of governing parties will undergo tremendous changes in the future. This is the reason why I mystified the real sense of my quatrains. That's probably not right. In the 17th century, Galileo, the father of modern astronomy, was considered a heretic and thrown into prison for suggesting that the sun, rather than the earth, was in fact at the center of the universe. Skeptics and naysayers flatly refused to look through his telescope to see for themselves that he was right. Today, many skeptics similarly refuse to look through our lens to see if there might be some truth to what we experience in the metaphysical world. They would rather reject even the possibility of an expanded reality than have to question and reevaluate their own long-held beliefs. People often ask us why we don't respond to skeptics. Our answer is that no matter how many successful predictions we make, nothing is going to change their minds, and therefore cause them to admit they are wrong. Skeptics tend to reflexively condemn anything that strikes them as unorthodox or foreign. People tend to be afraid of what they don't understand, and we've been found that the biggest skeptics are often those who feel threatened by their intuitive potential and who shut down, and who then project their resentment onto us. They're resentful because they don't do what we do, which is silly and unfair. After all, they're the ones preventing themselves from becoming more intuitive. Or, to put it another way, we can't fix cars, but we're not resentful of car mechanics. There was one time, however, when Linda found herself in the deep end of the jury pool, so to speak, and felt it necessary to respond. When she was called for jury duty a few years ago, she was impaneled on a criminal case. When it was her turn to question during the voir dire, the judge asked her to describe her occupation. She said, I'm a professional clairvoyant, a psychic detective. Linda answered, much to the judge's amusement, well, this is the first in my courtroom. He exclaimed, do you have a psychic feeling about this trial's outcome? And she said that indeed she did. The other jurors were giggling and accused looking uncomfortable, but the attorneys were not amused. They began to cross-examine Linda as if she were on trial. The first lawyer to question her simply couldn't understand why she wouldn't be able to make a judgment based solely on the evidence presented in court. When Linda said she had a sixth sense, that would make it difficult for her not to share her gut feelings with her fellow jurors during deliberation. He was really annoyed. The real kicker, however, came when a young female attorney, who obviously thought she was being very clever, and smugly asked Linda to predict what her next question was going to be. There was an audible gasp, but Linda, undaunted, and proceeded to boldly predict exactly what the woman's next question would be. Obviously, she got it right, because the red-haired lawyer's face turned bright crimson, and she stammered, I have no more questions, Your Honor. Shortly thereafter, Linda was dismissed. That experience just reinforced our long-held understanding that there are still many people who continue to doubt and get spooked by the validity of psychic intelligence. It is almost shocking to see how stubbornly resistant people can be to acknowledging psychic abilities, even when the evidence is staring them in the face. But experiences such as Linda's have only served to galvanize our resolve and reinforce our steadfast intention to bring our work as teachers and intuitives into the world, even if it means encountering skeptics and naysayers who refuse to understand. Those experiences simply show us how necessary our mission to educate people really is. For the truly faithful, no miracle is necessary. For those who doubt, no miracle is sufficient. By Nancy Gibbs. 5 psychic myth understandings. We believe that much of the skepticism about psychics stem from the fact that there are so many misunderstandings and myths about what psychics do or should do. These are just a few that we've came up against over and over again. Myth 1. Psychics were not mentioned in the Bible, the Torah, I think I said that right, or Buddhist teachings, so believing in psychic phenomena must be scarilegious. I don't even know what that word is. Sorry. Contrary to popular belief, many world religions and traditions have stories of and prophecies and seers. The Old Testament contains many stories of major prophets, including Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Daniel, along with those of literally scores of minor prophets. To take just a few examples, the Bible says that 3 wise men were guided by the North Star on the advice of Isaiah, who also predicted the birth of Messiah, which is a medieval term for psychic. Numbers 11:25 states, "And the Lord came down in a cloud and spake unto him, Moses, and took of the Spirit that was upon him, and gave it unto the 70 elders. And it came to pass that when the Spirit rested upon them, they prophesied and did not cease." In Exodus 15:20, Miriam is referred to as a prophetess, as is Deborah in Judges 4:4. And in Chronicles 25:3 states that the sons of Jeduthun prophesied with a harp to give thanks and praise to the Lord. In Buddhism, the Buddha predicted calamites and various sutras. For the example, the Sutra of Golden Light or Sutra of Golden Splendor asserts that the 4 heavenly kings will abandon a nation whose rulers do not propagate the Dharma, the cosmic order of law. The great collection of Sutra or Sutra of Great Assembly predicts a famine, war, epidemics, and other apocalyptic events if the ruler does not prevent the Dharma from perishing, and the benevolent kings of Sutra predict the departing of sages and the coming of 7 calamites of human, natural, astronomical nature. In modern times, the foundation of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is based upon the prophecies of Joseph Smith, whom Mormons consider to be a modern prophet. Myth 2. Psychics should know everything. This is a surprisingly common misconception. Professional psychics are not omniscient, should not claim to be. If we were omniscient, we would be God. And we would charge about $1 million an hour. Along the same lines, psychics can rarely predict the exact date and time when an event will occur. It is more realistic to expect a potential time frame. The future is fluid and there is no absolute reality. The future is not written in stone. With our free will and intention, we can actually influence events and outcomes and their timings. We can even change our destiny. And in fact, the tools we give in this book are designed to help you do that. Nevertheless, when we're appearing on live television, we're always held to the highest standards and expected to be perfect. TV producers, interviewers want us to spout astonishing revelations as if we were Nostradamus on a caffeine high. No pressure, right? Knowing that we can't control which spirit energies come through make it that much harder to deliver what's expected of us on camera. When millions of viewers are judging us with critical eye, we're sometimes tempted to ask the host whether he or she would expect a brain surgeon to perform neurosurgery on cue during a TV interview. As psychics, we're process all information we receive through our human filters and past experiences, just as a portrait painter has his own personal style and way of interpreting his subject. We get what we get. And for a lot of reasons, no one can predict every single major event that will happen in someone's life in 60 minutes or less. In addition, some clients come for a reading with a expectation that they will be assured of their future happenings, riches, fame, or gorgeous and caring soulmate, robust health and longevity, and oh yes, a guest spot on the Tonight Show. No psychic can guarantee your future, and if any psychic promises you that it will be perfect and you should probably ask for your money back. We can offer spiritual tools you can use to or circumvent a negative event or experience, but as we said, we have free will and we can't follow you around like the medium portrayed by Whoopi Goldberg in the movie Ghost. To make sure you are making the best and wise choice for your life, while we do believe that we will come into this life with a soul blueprint, including who our parents will be and who our children will be and our careers, the major life lessons we'll learn, already mapped out. We also believe that there is no such thing as a fixed or absolute reality. The future is malleable, or as it is put in Buddhism, mutable. Once a woman came to us and we gave her detailed guidance about her career, her relationships, and her past lives, and what she might have came up with within the next few years. She seemed pleased and left with a spring in her step. The next day she called and said in a tasty tone, "Why didn't you tell me that I was pregnant?" We had to laugh because it made us feel that the same people will never be satisfied with a reading no matter how much help you try to give them. They simply are not ready to accept the gift. As a spiritual counselors, we teach people, as we will be teaching you, how to maximize your individual potential, increasing their chances of success. It is, however, totally unreasonable for people to expect a psychic to divine every detail of their past, present, and future lives. Myth 3. Psychics should be able to predict lotto numbers. We once heard a famous talk show host say that she thought psychics were all frauds because if they were truly psychic, they would automatically win the lottery and therefore be extremely wealthy. Once again, psychics are not omniscient. Also, we have often said our gift is for other people to help them live better lives and make wiser choices and find their authentic path. It is not about becoming wealthy. Myth 4. Mediums are more gifted than psychics. It is a myth that mediums, people who connect directly with the energies of specific individuals who have passed over, are somehow more gifted than psychics. People have the ability to predict future events or describe past lifetimes, for example. This is like saying that the singers are more gifted than dancers. In both cases, the information is coming from the world of spirit, even though the messengers and methods of delivery may be different. In fact, some people have both abilities. We, for example, practice mediumship and predict future events. One is not necessarily a more advanced gift than the other. They both involve a certain level of skill and the ability to tap into higher dimensions or energy fields. Myth 5. Psychics shouldn't charge for what they do because their ability is a spiritual gift. This myth might stem from the old belief that money is the root of all evil. A truly spiritual person must give of him or herself with no expectation of getting anything in exchange. Baloney. Intuitive counseling is a valuable service and no less worthy than any other form of counseling. A good psychic reading can be life-changing. Talented psychic readers deserve to be fairly compensated for their time and experience and expertise. In addition, if there is no monetary investment, the client might not take the reading as seriously and could very well dismiss the guidance altogether. How to spot a fake psychic. Now that you know what a psychic should or should not be expected to do, you'll be able to spot the genuine article and avoid being taken in by a fake. There isn't any license exam for psychics, and many people have been burned by con artists. Every field has its share of unscrupulous people who exploit others, and the psychic world is no different, but there are plenty of warning signs that should tip you off. Now, I'm going to put my own 2 cents in here. This is their opinion. It doesn't mean that all psychics or all people who do some of these things are fake, because it just might mean that's just how they run with things. But sometimes it does mean they're fake, so just be very careful and cautious. Back to the book. A fake psychic may tell you that you have a curse or a dark cloud or a negative energy that he or she needs to clear with the use of rituals or the burning of special candles at a hefty additional price. Again, people can have curses and dark energy on them, and it's best to get that cleared, but obviously don't go for someone who says they're psychic and you have to pay a really big fee, because you could just do that yourself, which I will do some videos on this channel about that to help you out. Okay? For free. A fake psychic has no track record of publicly documented accurate predictions. Their own blog page doesn't count. Many claim to have predicted major world events but have no way to prove it. Don't let flashy website fool you. Okay, again, I have some advice in this. Just because someone isn't well documented doesn't mean that they don't have gifts or do have gifts. It could mean that they were scared and didn't believe in themselves. Or they're a beginner in their path and they're trying to help people, and they don't really have it all figured out yet. And that doesn't mean that they're a bad person or that they're a fake. It just means that they're slowly getting into it and slowly educating themselves. Like me, I am gifted in many ways, and I don't do very many readings because I'm nervous and I'm scared and I think I'm going to get something wrong, and that's not a way you want to go into a reading, because having doubt makes you mess up and end up getting predictions wrong. When you have more faith in yourself, you end up making more connections and you end up reading actual energies that are real. So again, please take caution on this list. Take your own discernment, but also just give people a chance. And again, don't pay a hefty price for any psychic. Always go for a psychic who is either free or who has low pricing, because someone who has low pricing will understand. Most people like me, because I'm an empath and I can feel these things, I will charge lower than most psychics, because I know how it feels to be in your situation, because 1, I feel your pain, and 2, I've been through a lot of crap. And I just want to be helpful, and I'm just doing this for help, being helpful. I'm not trying to get any money out of it, but because it does take some energy and it does take some of my time up where I could be doing other things, I do charge some money, but I'm not excessive like some other people are. I just thought to put that in. Let's see. Check. I'm going back to the book now. Check practitioner credentials. If you have any doubts, try to get a good reference from someone you trust. Fakes often call themselves hokey names like Spirit Warrior. Okay, this isn't true at all because my psychic name I use is Empress Space, or I have some other psychic names that I connect to. This part is false to me. Spirit Warrior, Psychic Sonia, Madame Rose, Aurora Star, Rainbow, Light Goddess, and so forth. Use caution in believing their inflated claims. Again, just use caution. I think this one's kind of stupid because I do the same thing. So, they may tell you that you will come into a lot of money soon, or there is money around you, but make no mention of how money will manifest itself. Some people don't even get some people don't even connect to the energy of how the money will manifest itself. Sometimes all they get when reading energies is you getting money. They may not even connect to any energies that will tell them to tell you how you will acquire this money. Sometimes some psychics only get told so much. It's only what Spirit wants you guys to know, or God, or whatever you guys believe in. Fake psychics often claim to be able to reunite you with lost loved ones. No one can do that but you. If he or she left, it may be a good thing. I do some psychic medium work, and you can in fact connect to energies, spirits, past loved ones who have died. I have, and not just my own. I've connected to other people's family members, other people's loved ones. So take this whole book in caution, and do what makes you comfortable, and believe what makes you comfortable. A fake psychic will often say he or she is world-renowned or famous without having any evidence or documented accomplishments to sustain that claim. Again, some advice. Some people, and I don't recommend doing this with other people, but some people who practice manifestation practices, they have to act as if this is happening. So they might be trying to manifest that they are famous or well-renowned psychic, and they're telling people that. Even though it's not a current event for them, they might be saying that because they're trying to manifest it in their life because they want to be. And part of manifestation is acting as if you already have it. And I have videos on my channel that talk about manifestation. If those videos aren't good enough for you, please ask me to make some more detailed manifestation videos, and I will be very much happy to make videos for you. If there's any other topic that you want me to do education wise, I can in fact make those videos for you. Just let me know in the comments section below, and I will be happy to help you out. Fake psychics don't predict probable dates, times, or locations. They speak in vague generalities like, he's coming, I can see him, he's right around the corner, and you won't be alone. Or, I see trains, planes, and bridges. A prediction that is so generalized it could apply to anyone, anywhere, at any time. It isn't really prediction at all. Okay, here's my advice and my thoughts on that last part. So sometimes spirit or what God or whoever you connect to, or whoever the person you're connecting to connects to, maybe that is all they get at that one point. Maybe they're not developed enough. Maybe that's just what they get, is generic stuff, or they see someone coming, or they see a bridge, or they see whatever. And people do this in automatic writing. Like, they'd be like, I see a bridge, or this color, they write down a color, or they write down a name, or they write down an address. And they can put two and two together sometimes. But some people, that's just what their gift is. They could just connect that way. And people who do remote viewing and they write this down of the things that they see or hear in their brain intuitively, they might intuitively hear bridge. And it might have something to do with that. Or they might intuitively hear horse or coffee or something. And it doesn't mean that they're wrong or false or something's wrong with them. It just means it's just how they connect to the spirit or spirit realm or the energies. Okay, I'm going back to the book. Use your inner crystal ball. There are so many charlatans in the business that it can be difficult to know whether or not a professional psychic or a medium is ethical or sincere. But just because you may have had a bad experience with one person, we hope that you won't throw the baby out with the bathwater, as they say. Be willing to open your mind to existence of legitimate psychic intelligence and give yourself the opportunity to experience and benefit from your own psychic gifts. If you believe that you might have intuitive abilities, you are opening the door. If you believe that you don't and will never have such gifts, you're making sure that you never will find out. But again, it's never too late to open up and figure yourself out. Just because you shut that door doesn't mean you can't reopen it. Open your mind to the wisdom of a higher intelligence. Interestingly, it's the modern science of quantum physics that has taught us energy never dies. It just keeps changing form, and everything, including our thoughts, has energy. What this means is that the energy of all thoughts of all humankind still exists as a kind of universal consciousness that we can tap into for guidance. Since ancient times, there has been various terms used to describe this universal source of knowledge that is outside of time and space. But it's a concept that has persisted throughout recorded history, from the Unus Mundus to Carl Jung's collective unconsciousness to postmodern superstring theory. According to the writer philosopher Terence McKenna, the substance of the universe is consciousness, not matter. Our thoughts in the universe reality we live in can be compared to a kind of cosmic soup composed of infinite number of invisible energy fields that contain an infinite amount of information. We humans are constantly downloading, decoding, and interpreting this information with our five senses. In the same way that the computer downloads and decodes information from cyberspace, as humans, we identify so strongly with our bodies and our finite, tangible world that we come to believe it is the only reality. Yet there are myriad realities and dimensions that we simply cannot perceive with our physical senses. Our higher intelligence vibrates at a higher frequency than our everyday thoughts, and it is what allows us to tap into this collective universal consciousness. We can all use our sixth sense to develop our brains and hearts so that we are able to access the universal consciousness and become a dynamic filter for psychic intelligence. You are an infinite, limitless, immortal, universal, and eternal energy temporarily residing in a body. You know that nothing dies, that everything is energy, and that it's constantly changing. By Wayne Dyer, Manifest Your Destiny. And again, I have videos on manifestation. And if you need more videos on manifestation, I will very much record them for you. All right, that was the end of the second chapter of this book. I hope you enjoyed that, and if you want to hear the third chapter of this book, I will be recording another video. I hope you guys are safe and healthy, and I will see you for the next video. Bye!